Hi, friends. I'm going to tell you a story now that I feel like I can do it without crying, I think. If I do cry, then I'm just going to turn it off and try again later. So I have a no crying on YouTube policy. Anyway, so on Monday, a friend of mine emailed some other friends and asked if we wanted to meet at Chick-Fil-A on Wednesday morning. I said, yeah, that sounds great. And then the following night, I drove some boys, including my son, my 14-year-old, on a special trip that the youth from my church were doing. And I knew one of the boys, and so some of the women at church, I spend time with them a lot without any kids around, and I haven't quite placed all of the children with the mothers yet. So one of the boys gave me his first name, and for a moment I thought, well, I wonder which family he belongs to, but for some reason I didn't ask. So we were heading on a highway that has two lanes in one section, no barrier, and the speed limit is 50 miles per hour. And then the one side is lined with telephone poles. Anyway, I was following a friend as we were caravanning, and right after she passed this white sedan, that sedan, not, it didn't just drift, it actually cut into my lane head on, like going diagonal. And I had just a fraction of a second to react, and like, I'm very grateful to be alive. I feel like it's a miracle that nothing happened. But I was able to swerve just enough to avoid being hit. And I could feel like the wind from the car passing us. It happened so fast, the boys weren't even quite aware what happened. Like, my son said, what the heck? What just happened? And I couldn't believe that I avoided hitting this person and didn't like veer off the road. So there are two different ways that um, that could have gotten all of us killed. And my friend who was in front, she didn't see it in her rearview mirror. She was rocking away to her music, and the more I thought about it, the more disturbed I was that, wow, if she were going just a little bit slower, he would have just plowed into her, or he or she. I didn't even see who was driving the car. I have no idea. Like, I mean, it was 4:30 in the afternoon. Visibility was fine. I don't know what they were doing that caused them to do that. I hope they weren't having a medical problem. But often texting or something would be the case. And then I realized too, if I had gone just a bit faster, he would have creamed me. There would have been no time to react at all. Like, it just happened so sudden. And I have just been on edge lately because I've been teaching two of my boys to drive. And I've always heard people tell jokes about how scary it is teaching kids to drive, but it really is that scary. It's not a joke. And I just took one of my sons, on the scary freeway the other day, and yeah, I was terrified. And now, having been through what I did last night, I just don't know how I'm going to keep teaching them how to drive. Not just the teaching part, but the letting go and saying, okay, you have your license now. Go ahead and take my van for a spin. It's just, I feel like this loss of control that just a fraction of a second makes the difference between me living or not living. So anyway, we got to our destination. We had a nice evening, but it just kept replaying in my mind, and the adrenaline just wouldn't quite die down. And I managed to finally get to sleep last night, but I slept maybe 4 hours, and when I woke up, I still felt stressed. I still had that sense that there was danger to avoid. And when I woke up, I remembered, oh, that's right, I was supposed to go meet my friends at Chik-Fil-A, and I could have brought my kids, but I didn't. No one was ready, and I wanted to go make a return at a store too. So, I walked into the restaurant and I saw one of the boys who was in my van last night, the one whose first name I knew but didn't know which family he belonged to. And duh, I made this connection that he is the son of my friend Christine. And she has 5 kids, and her husband has an inoperable tumor. And of course, the prognosis is bad. They have been through so much. And when I realized that her son had been in my van last night and what almost happened and how unbelievably hard that would have been if she had a son in the hospital on top of everything else. I can't I can't even imagine. So but I held it together, and we ordered our food and everything. And the people at Chick-fil-A were being so dang nice. I thought, what is going on here? We had most of our kids with us, and one of the employees there just brought us ice cream for free for what I thought was no reason. But it turned out that one of our friends said she was paying for Christine because her family was going through a hard time. So not only did Chick-fil-A bring us free ice cream, this woman also quietly went to Christine and handed her a gift card for her family. And I asked her what's going on, and finally she explained. And that was when I started to cry. Like the generosity of Chick-fil-A was like the tipping point for me. But yeah, I don't think she knew quite why I was crying at the moment, but I explained that my, emotions were just very much at the surface at the moment. And yeah, I still feel stressed. But I had a good day. So what happened was her older son is friends with 2 of my sons, and I was joking that he should come over for a play date and drag my son out of bed. And then her 5-year-old said, "Can I come too?" And I wasn't sure what time I was going to teach lessons today, so I was supposed to go to a friend's house that was quite far away, and it was like a compromise because I had been doing the lessons here and they were driving really far, so they had done that 3 times at least. And I said, well, I want to see my friend anyway, and I want to go swimming um, at Lake Sammamish. And so when I got home, it turned out I needed to leave in an hour to go teach lessons because they had decided what was the best time for lessons. So then I asked if I could bring um, my friend's 5-year-old, and then she was like in her van at the moment. She said, "Oh, my other kids will hear and they'll want to go too." And I said, "Okay, do they want to go too?" So my boys never want to go swimming with me anymore, and so I got to bring 3 of her kids. So it was an adventurous day, and I had to face my fears again and get back on the same highway where I almost died last night. And that was when I realized, oh yeah, this whole thing is lined with telephone poles, and oh, if it happened there, there's a guardrail, and I wouldn't have been able to get out of the way. Um, yeah, so I'm very grateful. Um, I feel like God was watching out for me, and you know, it wasn't my time to go yet. Um, but again, it's scary not knowing when it's going to be your time to go. So I just felt a need today to make the most out of the day and celebrate being alive. I had a lot of fun with my friends' kids, and I, don't want to be a cliche and say hug your kids a little tighter, but that applies. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for listening. Um, I don't know if the person was texting or not, but I know a lot of people who still text when they're driving. And if this will impact even one person and make them decide, okay, I'm not going to use my phone in the car anymore, then it's definitely worth my time to make this video. And yeah, if you're tired, um, I was just talking to my mom today, and she said she had a scary situation where she fell asleep at the wheel, and now she feels tired, she will pull over and take a mini nap. So cars are serious business. It's like having a loaded gun. I don't want to get demonetized. It's a huge responsibility. I hope my kids will all understand that, because young people think they're invincible. I'm glad I'm here to make another video for you, and I'm looking forward to some plans I have this weekend, and I hope everything works out as planned, and I hope to have a really fun celebratory video for you. Oh, probably Sunday or Monday. So we'll see how everything works out. Anyway, I love you guys, and you're the best. Thank you for supporting me, and thanks again for watching this video. And if you're new, please subscribe. And also you want to tap the bell for notifications, because then you won't know when I upload a new video. Stay safe, everyone.